Welcome to the Evening Rush right here on Voice of the People 90.3 FM. It's 10 minutes gone past the hour of 7 p.m. My name is Esther Wachuku. On the Evening Rush, just like the name implies, we get to look at topical issues that took center stage in the course of the day, issues that you would consider to be quite controversial for some people, and while it's realistic for some Nigerians as well. We also diverse these issues analytically, objectively, logically for our intellectual absorption and edification, as well as having a potential, insight into what the future of our polity holds. And right here, we try as much as possible to look at things from an objective prism. Today, I'll be speaking with Mr. Great Imo. He is an incisive, educated, and well-informed individual who will be giving us certain insights into topical issues that actually have been occurring for the past 2 or 3 weeks. And right about now, it's also very imperative that we have a fresh perspective to what we normally hear on this platform. I also have right here in the studio with me as well Mr. Tony Mbata, who is a political and social affairs commentator. Mr. Tony, good evening and thank you for joining us.
Thank you and good evening all.
All right. Before I go on for the continuation of the program, I would implore you to please go into our YouTube channel right about now and type VOP 903 FM. We're currently streaming live, so you can virtually be part of the conversation. You truly don't want to miss out what we're going to be discussing this evening on the Evening Rush. So here it is again. Now, there's something I want us to know. Nigeria spends upwards of $10 billion annually to import essential food commodities, despite having vast arable land, an abundant labor force, and significant agricultural potential. Okay? Now, the glaring contradiction undermines the country's economic sovereignty and threatens the welfare and future of its population. Why is that so? It admits and reflects that there is a decade of neglect and mismanagement which have trapped the country in import dependency and food poverty. Okay, rather than bemoaning this predicament, the government is meant to implement strategic and collaborative actions to reposition the agricultural sector as a basis for economic diversification, food security, social stability, and prosperity. Okay, now food prices soar and millions face hunger and poverty amid population numbers expected to rise by 70.9% to 401.3 million by 2050. The imperative is to lift Nigeria's agricultural sector, especially in critical areas like grains, beef, dairy, fisheries, which has become increasingly urgent. Now, what is the problem? For a couple of us who visit the market on a daily basis for perishable food items or daily consumables, you would realize that what you meet it at today is not what you meet it at tomorrow. And what makes a productive economy, what makes the productive sector of an economy thrive is its accessibility to food. Food is a mainstay of a healthy, growing population like Nigeria, which is considered to be one of the most populated West African country in Africa as a continent. Now, how do you help a nation with its vast resources undergoing several challenges, which includes insecurity where persons cannot have access to their farmlands, and we are having a teeming population of young persons that need to be fed? There is a brain drain on the limited resources available. Now, several administrations every 4 years always promises on the same thing that the previous administration came on board to meet, which is we will provide easy access to food, we will improve the economy, we will make better infrastructure available, we will end corruption, life will be free and fair, opportunities for you to have easy access to school and education. Everything is basically what they promise every 4-year term since our democratic dispensation in 1999. Unfortunately, in that process, there's a decline in all the promises that has been made. Very few improvements have been witnessed. So every 4 years is the same thing that Nigerians experience. Every 4 years, someone who was a child or a teenager 4 or 5 years ago becomes a mother and is still bemoaning the same complaint they had experienced 4 or 5 or 6 or 7 years ago. After the 2023 election, a population of the Nigerian demography that usually used to be supposedly nonchalant about politics or the political scenario became very active. Since then, they've been following the political trend. And I must tell you, it is, in some instances, it's unfortunate. For some persons, these are fortunate times for them. I'm going to introduce my analyst right via the telephone, Mr. Great Imo. Good evening, and thank you for joining us today.
Yeah, good evening.
Thank you very much, sir. Thank you for your patience, Mr. Great Imo. So, my introduction was concerning our agricultural sector, how poorly equipped it is. We're understanding, Mr. Great Imo, that food items have become excessively expensive. That certain food produce, certain items, some persons are doing without them. It's gotten so bad that even the ones that were easy to access, like possibly some proteins, okay, which is to give a balanced diet, like possibly eggs, crayfish, or even fish, has become so expensive that people are relying on other means of gaining protein, and that is possibly to eat beans, which a couple of nutritionists have told us that beans actually has high carbohydrates as compared to what we believe it to be, that it is a highly proteinous food. Mr. Great Imo, what exactly is the issue that administrations come by, they promise us that they're going to make food accessible to us, but that is not what is being experienced? The administration today tells us that they are really working hard and they're doing well. They tell us that food prices have crashed, but when you go to the market, that's not what is obtainable. We don't know seasonal products or seasonal produce because of how expensive they are, but it's always expensive. We don't get to see a reduction in prices. Why are we still experiencing this, despite the disparity of records being produced by the administration of the day?
Well, thank you very much. This is a call for concern, and I must start by saying that society rise and fall on the order of leadership. It is obvious that the challenges Nigeria faces today is because of the quality of leaders we have. People without either they don't have vision, because it's obvious, because when you see a leader with a vision, you will see it in the way they govern the society. We have a group of politicians who are just desperate to grab power, to use it for their personal benefits. You know, a lot of people ruling across Nigeria today are people who are infested with this low self-esteem, that they think their position is what they require to acquire material things. Primitive material acquisition is what drives their interest. Hence, there is no, they don't have purpose in governance. Look at other clients, because when you want to know whether a country is governed well, for example, when you read the book Why Nations Fail, it is a comparative analogy of successful societies and those that have failed. And what has led to those societies that have failed like ours is lack of vision, structure, order, and systems. So we are in a country where people are hungry, but a government is prioritizing spending 39 billion to renovate an event center. 142 billion is being budgeted to build, motor parks in political zone. 720 billion is being budgeted to renovate an existing international airport where new ones were built. That is in dollar terms, that is about $500 and something million. Why Ghana built a new airport with $250 million, a complete new international airport. That tells you what the mindset of those who are ruling Nigeria is. Upon that, today, the People's Gazette magazine is publishing since yesterday about millions of dollars worth of private houses owned by the minister of ACT, the son, who have never worked anywhere, owns properties in the US, and these properties were purchased with cash dollar. And then we turn around and then program and they publish all manner of things on media platforms claiming that we are making progress. Today, everybody knows what the value of dollar to naira is. And then when you remove that, You cannot pay people commensurate value in terms of salaries. And then you are now talking about scarcity of food, which we know results from, number one, the insecurity in the land. Yesterday, we had former Governor El-Rufai, the former governor of Kaduna, say on national television that our federal government, facilitated by NSA, National Security Advisor, pays bandits. We are paying them in billions, and we know what that will result to. They buy more weapons. They are killing more people. People can't go to their farm. Nigerians cannot travel by road. Hence, logistics is also restricted. Even where you produce from various communities, you can't move them to urban areas. Then those who can farm are afraid of going to farm. And there is no integrated master plan for agricultural revolution in Nigeria. Everything becomes propaganda in the face of this reality. Then government keeps praising themselves, but Nigerians are going hungry every day. The problem is leadership. Society, as I said, rise and fall on the altar of leadership. I know, for example, during the COVID, I wrote a charter for agricultural revolution in Nigeria, considering the global pandemic at that time. I had a structural writing on how Nigeria can move agricultural chain, go backward and forward integration to what lead to rapid agricultural production, because some of these things we consume, their turnover time for production is between 9 months and 6 months. Rice, beans, gari, yam, all of those things. But you need to have a master plan. You need to have sincerity of purpose. Every year we budget billions, you don't see it on the streets of Nigeria. Because the money don't get to the people who are supposed to have them to make impact. They don't get to them. Sitting there in the ministries, they defray this cause. These people travel around, gather a star code, attend conferences that are not useful to Nigerians, and yearly budget of billions just go away. Next year they start repeating the same story. We are heavy on propaganda and low on productivity, which is the problem. So the ultimate problem is the poverty of leadership, and there is corruption in Nigeria. Nobody should tell us these lies about we are dealing. Nigerians are living the reality. You can't tell them their reality. So anybody who's in government telling us we are doing what, they are joking. And the fundamental problem here is because they know that the institutions that are supposed to make them accountable, including the electoral institutions like INEC, have been fundamentally flawed. Otherwise, they can't lie to us all year round and come back every 4 years and believe they can get back to power without being productive, without having results to show for it. So the problem now has become INEC. INEC has become the weapon fashioned against Nigerians that allow this. Look at what just happened in River State. Look at the last election in Edo. Why we are complaining about the outcome of 2023 election and the shenanigans of technical glitch, we are now seeing the manifest corruption in our electoral process, even starting with a sole administrator conducting election in a democracy, and then people coming to short results in a local government that 300 and something thousand people voted, when in the last election the governor won election with about 300,000 people. In this case, they conducted a kangaroo, an illegality, and they announced a local government that 320,000 people voted when the election was boycotted, and we can see it in the media, we can see it everywhere.
Mr. Great Imo, Nigeria has one of the highest population growth rates globally, and more than 2/3 of its citizens are below the age of 30. Now, during the last elections or in several elections in the time past, some have refused to vote or even register to do so. They complain of multiple reasons, from fear of violence during elections to a trust deficit in state institutions. Okay? Now, the 2019 election process, that is a general election, witnessed a low turnout since Nigeria's return to democratic government in 1999. In fact, only a third of registered voters showed up at the polling units. All right? Now, it followed a pattern of routinely low participation in the process. Only twice has voter turnout reached or surpassed 50% of total registered voters since Nigeria's first presidential elections in 1979. But Mr. Great Imo, there is an increasing number of Nigerians, especially those who have become eligible to vote since the 2019 general elections, including the 2023 general elections, that has become more than ever before. We have suffered recessions in the 8 years of Muhammadu Buhari, a situation worsened, according to some Nigerians, by this administration of President Bola Ahmed Tinubu. So, coming from the End SARS protest of 2020, where this sleeping population, or this sleeping demography, decided to wake up and become conscious of what was going on in their polity, some of their spirits have refused to die down, especially after the 2023 elections. And speaking of a certain thought force under the Labour Party at the time, there was a resurgence and awakenness of certain young persons in our demography. Since then, there have been talks, monitoring of policy implementation of governments. Mr. Great Imo, there are talks that this administration had promised Peterobi an appointment within the cabinet of the president. Peterobi said he declined. In some sectors, we heard that he remained silent, and the idea was to work with the administration of the day, prefer certain solutions that will help the administration of the day grow, drop his 2027 ambition. We also heard that former President Goodluck Ebele Jonathan, who seems to want to return to the PDP as talks are ongoing for him to come back into the political arena, proposed a ministerial position to Peterobi if he drops his presidential ambition and supports him. We also heard that Atiku Abubakar is considering Peterobi to be his vice to either unseat President Bola Ahmed Tinubu in 2027. But then Peterobi has come to say, I am running for the presidential ticket. And I want to ask you, recently, we've seen different issues in the opposition political parties. These opposition political parties complain that the president or the APC are the ones causing the infighting within their political parties. The presidency has denied. The president said he has no candidate. However, he's happy to see them in disarray. The current coalition, which is the ADC, which heightened the expectation of this teeming population who were afraid that there will be no opposition to counter this current administration, there seems to be some issues with the ADC, while there are talks for Peterobi to join the People's Democratic Party. In all of this, yes, Wiki yesterday asked Peterobi why he has not said anything, why he is quiet, and why he's keeping his supporters guessing, thereby warning the PDP not to feature Peterobi, that it will ruin the party amidst their upcoming convention, in Ibadan. How do you see this scenario? How will this affect the chances of the teeming population that decided to get interested in politics? Do you think that there are threats in certain quarters, or is this a political machination that he has remained? Okay, we're having a situation with the network. Or is there a situation whereby this is one of the reasons he has remained silent in not disclosing to us what his next move will be? Because it's very imperative that we dissect these issues from a prism of objectivity and understand the importance of having a good choice, that is an opportunity for us, for decisions to be made by certain segments of the society that support these different political principles. What do you have to say to this, Mr. Great?
Okay, let me start by, as it stands today in Nigeria, let me delve into something you mentioned in passing.
Okay.
If both the ADC, the PDP, even Atiku Abubakar and APC are winning Peterobi, it tells us something about the man. So why should anybody, if all of us have agreed, those from the ADC, PDP, even from APC, the ruling party, wanting to work with them, it is an acknowledgement that he has the capacity to make a difference. So why would you want to superimpose something on him? When we have acknowledged that he has the Midas touch, he has the capacity of mind, he has the ideas, he has the passion, he has what it takes to change. So from all these people wooing him and calling his name every day, it tells us that except we are living ourselves, it tells you a lot. The guy has capacity, So why do you want to superimpose somebody? Because apart from somebody being in power, because the question will be, why are those in power wooing him to start with? This is there. You want to give him the freedom to do it his own way. So the question now becomes, you know you don't have the capacity, why do you struggle to be there? So the problem now is that we have all agreed that he has the ideas. He has the capacity. Because fundamentally, what people don't also realize is that in leadership, character is a fundamental. Character, if you see a man with character, competence, compassion, and you can believe his words, you know he has the idea, you know he has the speed and the drive. Why don't you give him power? So we sit in the fact that the people sitting there, they want to borrow from somebody's good reputation to embellish their corruption. So they want his ideas, they will implement it haphazardly, and then seek the opportunity to squander whatever they can get. That is all that they want it for. But going forward, I want to talk about these youth of Nigeria who have been demanding for change even in a very peaceful way. Someone wrote an article titled "On the Road to Rwanda" when he was warning how ethnic baiting led to the genocide in Rwanda. Today, I want to make a reference to the road to Ivory Coast. How a nation came, was brought to its knees for almost 11 years due to the outcome of an election where a sitting president denied the victory of his opponent and remained in power, and it led to mild civil war, disrupting the society until he was forcefully removed, and many people died, military officers, civilians, because they were having this thinking like the likes of Wike, who think that they can threaten Nigerians, that Nigerians should not have their say. The Nigerians cannot determine who they want. They are shouting on TV, on radio, because they have gangs of military and police officers going behind them. They should not provoke these young Nigerians to begin to think in the direction of Ivory Coast, where they say, if we perish, we perish, and that will be very destructive. And I don't know how they reason to the extent that their personal selfish interest, they can put it in the place of national interest to the extent that they wish to undermine everybody. Because the way and manner they are acting, if people decide to pick up arms in response to what they are doing, the way they are threatening people, this country will collapse. They should be careful. This is a democracy. We fought against the military rule for many years. For over 30 years, Nigerians were crying and begging go. Today, we are using military to install government in power. Are we begging the military to come back to power? And then we are threatening people with talks, speaking on national television, on social media, telling people who will vote and who will not vote, and having people, because they have a choice under a democracy. And like El-Rufai said the other day when his political rally was attacked, people must know that nobody has the monopoly of violence. If these Nigerian youth are sought to protest, to demand for changes in a very civil way, get angry in the society, even those who think they are safe will not be safe, they and their family. Look at what has happened to Syria. Look at many other countries where elections have led to the collapse of the society. Assad, who was the sitting president, who thought he had all the power, is he not in asylum? Many of his family members were running off and murdered. As soon as these opposition guys took over, they killed many of his followers. This is why we must be careful to ensure that the will of the citizens must prevail at every time, and that is why it is a democracy.
All right. Hold on there, Mr. Great Imo. Please just hold your thoughts, okay? Mr. Tony Mbata, the presidency has declared that the economic reforms introduced by President Bola Ahmed Tinubu are beginning to restore confidence in Naira, both at home and abroad. This statement was made by the Special Advisor on Information and Strategy, Bayo Onanuga. He made the assertion while reacting to reports that some Chinese traders have started accepting the Naira directly in place of the United States States dollar for transactions with Nigerian customers. Now, the trend is linked to the success of Nigeria's currency swap agreement, which allows Chinese traders to collect naira for its currency, the yuan, instead of insisting on dollar payments. So foreign exchange dealers also attributed the recent stability in the exchange rate to this arrangement, alongside the growing adoption of peer-to-peer foreign currency trading. Now let's break it down. Let's just look at the prism of those who are going about their import and export business with the Chinese counterparts. But there are complaints about the small-scale businesses, those who do retail businesses, household perishable items, and how expensive they have become. So on the outlook with this information, the presidency is telling us that with the flotation of the naira, this is why this particular situation was possible. You don't necessarily need the dollar anymore. Do you think this is another propaganda, as a couple of Nigerians, including Mr. Great Imo, is asserting on the government of the day? Or would you consider this an improvement, albeit quite slow or painful for others?
You see, Esther,
Mr. Bayon, unfortunately, is neither an economist, a finance expert, and even as a media guru, he's more of a propagandist than just a journalist.
Mr. Great,
and mind the Islamic company, we don't expect him to speak otherwise, but let me explain this to you.
No, hold on, Mr. Great. Mr. Great, the question was for my analyst in the studio. I just stay on the line. I'll come.
You would have allowed him. Let him.
All right, go ahead. Go ahead, sir.
Okay. Sorry about that.
No problem. Go
but
ahead.
if you allow me to then carry on, let me explain.
Go ahead.
Go ahead.
The use of renminbi or yuan, whichever you choose to, is not as a result of an economic improvement. That is absolute fallacy. Before Nigeria, there is an economic group, emerging economic group, that came up in 2013 called the BRICS. And the BRICS have promoted the use of alternative currency, and this was brought about and highlighted as the Russia-Ukraine war became so intense, and the European Union, the America, they removed Russia from SWIFT, which is the International Payment System, Transaction System, and placed over 30,000 sanctions on Russia. Russia being a big economy that has over $100 trillion worth of natural resources, has people needing its resources. And being members of the BRICS, they decided to trade among themselves with their national currencies, and also to do bank their surpluses more in their national resources and gold. International trade now among them happens literally 60% on their international currencies and 40% in gold. And Nigeria now having become BRICS partner is also going to enjoy that. So when you trade with a BRICS country, you don't necessarily need it. China is a BRICS country. But today, if you must buy from America or Europe, you must require dollar or euro, depending on who you are buying from. But good enough, it is good that we can buy from China using our currency and they buy from us using our currency. That is not a measure of economic growth. Dollar is a currency not only for international trade, it's also currency for value measurement. What is the value measurement? By the time President Tinubu took over power, at the official rate, dollar to naira was 480. Today is 1,500. Using dollar to measure our currency, where is it today? Another valuation process for knowing economic progress, what they call purchasing power parity. Like the other day, I had a squabble with some people who were arguing with Mr. Peterobi announced that the minimum wage can no longer give international power. And some ignorant people went around ranting. It is only Nigeria where a minimum wage, monthly minimum wage cannot get you an international passport. That is talking about purchasing power parity. Today, what is the price of egg? What is the price of bread compared to when they came in? Even when you increase the minimum wage to 77, the naira was devaluated to the extent of 53% of dollar value of naira have gone. That means our labor have increased, the output is low. So by every economic measurement and standard, what does Mr. Raluga mean? We have increased tax on everything. Do you even know now that they are about to increase taxes on rents without people knowing it using subterranean moves? You increase taxes on coal that ordinary Nigerians used to interfere with themselves, on data, on everything. You are squeezing this country, squeezing the country. Many people now can't even start business because the value of the currency can't rent to a shop. I live in Abuja, I live in Gainesville. Before President Tinubu came to power, 2-bedroom flat in Gainesville was 1.30 million. Today it is 3.5 million.
Interesting. Mr.
You live in Medama, go and ask. Next time we just move to life camp, go and find out. You are in Lagos. What is the house rent today? And not only there is no house rent, the liquidity, the money collected in terms of taxes, you manipulate it in a way that only few Nigerians can touch it. So instead of you removing subsidy, and what you recover from subsidy, you plow it into what emergency area. Look at people say, oh, subsidy removal was good. Who says you don't subsidize? You subsidize anywhere in the world. You should that if you were subsidizing what we have, which was petroleum, and it was embedded in gross in corruption, you remove the corruption and you balance the subsidy. Whereby you find out that you have enough there, you don't need subsidy there. Have you subsidized productivity? Instead, you give more money to politicians, you increase the allowances of the National Assembly members, their constituency project money, and which they don't execute, so they can swing on your madness with your plant, or your madness in the National Assembly, and then the governors get too much of their own, so you can party with them. EFCC is silent on them. Nobody is accounting for anybody. Then the remaining ones, you start coastal road to nowhere, and then abandon existing roads that are dilapidated, making movement of goods and services in the little manner that is happening more difficult, more strenuous, more troublesome for Nigeria. Mr. Bayan Anuga is at best a propagandist working for government. He should not come and tell us about reality.
All right, thank you, Mr. Great Imo. Please kindly stay on the line. I beg you. Okay. Now, Mr. Tunimbata, what's your take on this as well?
Yeah, Mr. Imo have analyzed it economically for those of us who are policymakers. But let us break it down for people there outside the street that can listen to what we are saying.
Okay.
You see, we have found out the problem of this country, who is the leadership of this country. And the people, the institution giving the leadership of this country, they go ahead to do what they are doing, is the INEC. Because if the INEC is doing what they're supposed to do, making sure that the vote of the people count, I don't think that some myopic, half-baked people can come up and start giving us some jargons which they don't know. And they cannot win election, even local government councillorship election. But because they have corrupted the INEC, or INEC, because of the greediness of the people that are minding the affairs of that institution, they have corrupted them and corrupt themselves too. So it gives them the credence that is, they will come up, they say anything, they do anything, and they can get away with it. Now, you're talking about Onanuga telling us how we are romancing with China and all the economic
policies that has strengthened.
Yes, Naira. The economic analysis Mr. Imo gave. Let me give you a practical example. For today, I don't know tomorrow or next, the dollar is one of the things that you can use for international trade or whatever you think of it. And every countries of the world must make use of dollar. Now, instead of Nigeria to develop themselves where they can develop in agriculture so that you can have something to produce and strengthen your naira or your currency, you are busy chasing China. China also making use of American dollar for international trade and other things. So by the time you are raising the volume of their trade or their production, also you are strengthening their own currency, living your own. Now you talked about this agricultural issue of a thing, how food shortage is being ravaging Nigerians. What is the cause of it? Because we have myopic leaders who want to make use of this genetic modified food that are being imported into the country. Other many countries of the world have rejected it, and also killing the local farmers who produce our farm produce, thereby encouraging this. Now, they are not giving what required for local farmers in order to produce what we want. They are now causing artificial scarcity by making sure that we have security, we have insecurity in the farmland. People are not going to farm. Most of the agricultural implement or whatever they're supposed to give to them in order to subsidize what they are doing, government is not doing it in order to make sure that there be no produce, there be nothing to show. Now, allowing the foreign bodies to introduce these things that are more harmful to our health, because we have leaders that when Mr. Imo was talking, he says something that some people today who know that they cannot make money in other means, so politics as the only avenue for them to enrich themselves. So when they find themselves in power, what do? They will open their doors for the fact that is anything concern money. They don't know what the money will do to the country. They don't know what the money, the economic implication or whatever, only to acquire that money and keep it, and thereby killing the institutions, killing the things that will bring the country up. So when you look at the problem of Nigeria, is a problem of leadership, and this is high time we started doing something. The youth that want change should come up more. We must, because if we fold our arms to allow some lunatic elements keep governing us, this country is already in shambles. It's not a question of saying we are heading to doom. We are already there. There are hunger in the land. There are pain in the land. People are dying every day. Go and check. Look at the wife of the president who was saying, I'm going to open an account instead of you to do this for me to build a national library for people.
Then I asked, was referring to her supporters.
No. What this national library, there was a budget for it. What happened to the money? Because we have bunch of people that don't know what leadership is all about, don't know how to do things in the legislation. Anything can pass. So we have a problem in our hand. And when we are talking about it, people will stay somewhere, because we believe in Nigeria. When you see a thief, you say, it's my own thief, let him thief, even if he's not benefiting you. Can anybody tell me and beat say that APC government, since Buhari came into power, that things have changed? It's not. They're all lying. The other time they lied to Nigerians that the refinery is working. They went and they brought fuel, whatever places they know, and put it there and pump it out. Look at Coastal Road. Nobody's talking about it. Do you know how many billions that went into it? Look at what they say they want to use to maintain Third Mainland Bridge. Look at airport. And when you see this thing, you see madness in leadership.
Mr. Great Imo, I know that our time is limited. In a few minutes, you believe in us. Mr. Great, President Bola Ahmed Tinubu has affirmed that his administration will not be swayed by U.S. President Donald Trump's trade policies. I'm sure you're very much aware of the trade tariffs, okay? So he said that Nigeria's expanding non-oil revenue provides a strong buffer against external economic shocks. In fact, the president said that he does not intend to borrow. He's not borrowing. President Bola Ahmed Tinubu actually said in that gathering that he is not borrowing. I want to take you back a little bit to what a couple of persons, political economists, some economic analysts refer to as fiscal disaster. Now, for example, there's a new wave under President Tinubu's administration where some persons within the African Democratic Congress define as fiscal vandalism by his administration, when yet another $21 billion in foreign loans was recently proposed by the president to the National Assembly. And the ADC is saying that this wave of borrowing will drive Nigeria's public debt beyond 200 trillion naira before the end of the year. In fact, Malam Bolaji Abdullahi accused the president of surpassing his predecessor by mortgaging the country's future in mountains of debts in the name of economic reforms. So, which should we take, where the president tells us that Nigeria is no more borrowing and that Trump can do what he likes, he doesn't care, because of the fact that we made more money in our non-oil produce end of the year allocation? What do you have to say about that?
Funny enough, Mr. President talks as if he lives in another planet and Nigerians live in another world entirely. The other day they published the what they call it foreign reserve at 41 billion. Many people did not realize that that same amount was published last year as an achievement. But what you don't even know is that Nigeria's standard debt, foreign debt, is $46 billion. And yet we are still borrowing. Let me give it to him. Mr. President is an excellent tax collector. And obviously, from record of his career, he has been a tax collector, but I think he's confused about both monetary and physical the physical side of the economy, how to interface them to get results. Okay, we are making more money from non-oil sector. Can they mention those sectors and what we made from them?
Okay, so hold on, Mr. Great. He categorically said Nigeria is not borrowing. So the late Muhammadu Buhari organization visited the president at the Asa Rock Villa. The Buhari organization was led by the former Nasarawa State Governor, Senator Tanko Almakura. And the president said that the achievement was recorded in the month of August, 4 months before the end of the fiscal year. He said, Nigeria is not borrowing. We have met our revenue target of the year and we met it in August. He emphasized that his government remains committed to pursuing reforms that would guarantee economic stability and growth, and that there is more reliance on non-oil revenue, which has begun to yield positive results.
We are not making money from anything. We are making money from squeezing Nigeria's pocket. President Tinubu is taxing poverty. Which kind of economic theory is that? Where does that work? You don't tax, you invest in the people, make them productive, then tax the outcome, their profit. This man is squeezing businesses, taxing everything inside, and pulling so many people into poverty. 56 million people are now in poverty. He made 30-something million in poverty. Now it's 56 million. So we are meeting our tax revenue. Okay, our target, our budget revenue for the year. Where is the outcome? How is feeling the benefit? Few people are mortgaging the future of Nigeria. Is that how economy is run? By squeezing everybody. I think today, you know, between the last time you increase tax on electricity by 300%. Increase tax on call rates, on data, on transportation, on everything. You have squeezed more Nigerians to get from them. And a lot of these Nigerians now are working countries because so many of them over time, apart from when they make calls and when they want to chat using data, you can't even see anything to collect from them. If you do a financial transaction now, they tax you. Those are the things they are talking about. How many Nigerians have been empowered? How many industries? How many mechanized farms? What have they used the money to do? Yet you say you are not borrowing, and it is in the public domain, because when you borrow, you are borrowing from foreign elements, and the news is in the public space.
All right, Mr. Great Imo. So finally, the National Orientation Agency. I said finally because I know that you gave me a stipulated time, so I want to be done with you by 8 o'clock. The National Orientation Agency has recently disclosed to us that Nigeria is actually not a bad country, that what we're currently experiencing is bad leadership. Over the years, Nigeria has experienced bad leadership, which has led to corruption, which has led to a decline when it comes to the tenets of democracy, which has also caused the frailty in our unity as a nation. And a lot of Nigerians were surprised when the National Orientation Agency made that remark. And they said they want to begin to reorient all the 774 local government areas on the importance of being part of governance, politics, and in entrenching the code of good governance. Okay, so the question is, where was the National Orientation Agency all this while? You're talking about ethnic baiting. We're seeing disparity in thoughts. Nigeria's sense of unity has become so limited. Ever since the 2023 election, bigotry, nepotism is the order of the day. There is federal appointment imbalance when it comes to federal character allocation. And the Nigerian Orientation Agency has been mum. So what happened that all of a sudden they woke up? We heard in time past that they don't have money. They're not really giving money to work, and that's why they're mum. Have they been giving money now to work?
Well, the National Orientation Agency, many people don't even know they exist anymore. There used to be a time in this country we had MAMSA under the military regime. They were so more efficient, even though they were serving a military government. And the problem is that National Orientation Agency, if care is not taken, will definitely be part of the propaganda machine of government rather than do what they're supposed to do. For example, National Orientation Agency that does not orientate people in the INEC, where professors will go and help out right results to become leaders of the nation. National Orientation Agency does not know that there is something wrong with the orientation of a professor of a university whose salary is less than 500,000, who writes results to elect him to become a member of the House of Representatives or State House of Assembly or governor or senator. A professor, that person needs orientation. The INEC youth corps, the youth corps who have been hired by INEC to go and conduct election, who collects 100,000 to allow the polling result to be changed, yet is going to live in that society, and National Orientation Agency does not know you should be doing something about it. The National Orientation Agency that should be electing senators out of red members who are in the Senate today know that one day they will live there and they will think they are living a privileged life, and the children of these families you are suffocating, some of their children will end up as bandits and unknown bandits and may kill their children on convoy in their houses. Their National Orientation does not know what he's doing. It's not just to have money. Who are you reorientating? The ordinary Nigerians that they have said are good people. Nigeria is a great nation by every potential measure. Nigerians are good people. That is why even when President Tinubu announced the removal of subsidy, no protest, because Nigerians have been told over time that once you remove this subsidy, we will be in paradise. They remove the subsidy, we have more revenue, then there is too much volume of cash, but the value has reduced. But this too much volume of cash, they are using it to do event center. Why a woman dies is charged back for a bill in a hospital of 28,000, and you think that National Orientation Agency knows what they are doing? They don't know what they are doing. They don't know what they are doing. They should start that orientation with our leaders, with INEC, and with those professors who read the election, and some of them, when they retire, they go home to go and be earning 70,000 as pension, and they are complaining. That is where they should start. There is nothing wrong with ordinary Nigerians. That is why Nigerians are subservient even to pastors who don't have guns, talkless of politicians. So when you have a good leader, Nigerians are good to follow. Nigerians are not the problem. The leadership of Nigeria is the problem. And shame on them to have a country so well endowed and is calling. Look at what is happening in Ghana. John Mahama is less than 1 year in power. When he came in, $1 to Ghana cedis was $1 to 18 Ghana cedis. Now it's $1 cedis to $1 to 11 Ghana cedis. That's to tell you the economic progress. Do you know that we are not importing crude oil from Ghana? Do you know? Meanwhile, it was Nigeria that helped to establish the mining capacity of Ghanaians just a few years back then.
Mr. Greatimo, fresh details have emerged over the refusal of INEC to recognize the newly announced leadership of the ADC led by former Senate President David Mark. The coalition, as we know, was formally unveiled in July at an event in Abuja. What does this indicate? Now, there are talks that INEC doing this has obviously caused a problem. For example, for Peterobi, who has actually put his heart in the race and said that he intends to run for 4 years under the ADC, he has not given us an update as to what the situation about Labour Party is all about, despite INEC deregistering and no longer recognizing Gilo Saburi. The PDP is still weighing him. He says he's thinking about it based on what Yunus Atanko disclosed. And now, INEC has refused to recognize David Mark's leadership. In other words, the ADC that was supposed to be a major coalition is not necessarily a legalized or registered or well-known coalition as it stands. And there is a tendency that INEC may delay in whatever court procession would actually commence from this. What do you think will happen? Peterobi is now partyless, supposedly. Will he drop?
INEC as it currently stands, INEC is part and parcel of APC, and that is a battle Nigerians must fight now. Because this INEC that announced results in the middle of the night as though they had witches and wizards meeting when Nigerians were still waiting for the collation. This INEC that has technical glitches after spending 300 and something billion, over $1 billion, and cannot account for it today. This INEC is part of Nigeria's problem, is a weapon fashioned against Nigeria that Nigerians must stand up and fight and even pray God to punish them if possible.
How will Nigerians fight against INEC? What exactly? How?
INEC went to ADC meeting. I am not a member of APC. I know that even people are being misinformed. Peterobi never said he's running under ADC.
He never did.
Coalition.
Okay.
Yes, he said it's part of the coalition.
Okay.
And the coalition means the coming together of people from different backgrounds. And he did not go to collate as political parties. Most of them are still in their political parties. Peterobi is still in Labour Party. Some people are still in BDP. They say they are part of the coalition. Some people now are in ADC. Meanwhile, ADC is a registered political party and that has not been deregistered. The change of leadership, which we all witnessed in the view of national television, was acknowledged and attended by INEC. I want you to go back on that news. The day the former ADC national chairman Nwosu stepped down, it was an acknowledged process adopted by the neck of the party. Mind you, the Supreme Court has ruled that the political parties they are bound by their own constitution, and based on their own constitution, the neck of the party agreed and accepted what the resignation of those people, and then they voted in an interim body. I am not speaking for ADC. If they made a mistake constitutionally, that is their problem. But what I want to tell you is that this is a part of the continuation of the struggle by APC to undermine democracy, like they have done in Rivers, they have done in Edo, they are doing everywhere. But they should be careful before it boomerangs. I am warning them. This thing can get out of hand and there will be no place for anyone to hide.
But Mr. Great Imo, we do know about the Ralph Nwosu situation. Dumebi Kachuku spoke immediately after David Mark announced their leadership, where Ralph Nwosu said they had dissolved the previous leadership and adopted the leadership of David Mark. Immediately after that, the ADC under David Mark started experiencing issues. First of all, Dumebi Kachuku organized a press conference where he disclosed that the persons who came and announced have hijacked the party and that they're not legitimate and not recognized. To start off with, he said Ralph Nwosu is no longer the chairman of the ADC, that his tenure has expired. The case was in court. INEC was meant to do due diligence but did not, and that situation tarried. Maybe Kachuku also informed us, he informed us that some certain persons came to meet him, that they wanted to adopt the ADC for a coalition, and that they specifically told him that it was for Atiku Abubakar. Now, that's not the only person that came to create an issue within the ADC or created a question mark on the leadership of David Mark. We had two different people come to tell us that they're now in charge of the ADC and telling us that there is no legally, constitutionally binding recognition of David Mark. They all individually went to court. So could this be the reason why INEC has refused to recognize David Mark's leadership? And those in the coalition, are they coalescing or it's just a distraction?
Let me say this. Every Nigerian living today, everybody listening to this broadcast should know that INEC has become the problem of Nigeria. INEC has become the problem of Nigeria. The characters that populate that INEC, I don't know what they represent. They have become the weapons fashioned against this progress, this country's progress. Why I'm saying this, I'm not a member of APC. I witnessed on national television, like many other people, INEC attended the next meeting of ADC, where the neck of the meeting dissolved the National Working Committee and are empowered by the constitution of the party, appointed interim leadership. INEC was witness. I stand to be corrected. INEC was witness to that event. Was INEC invited? Yes. If INEC was invited and they attended, they witnessed it, and thereafter they waited until now. By the way, even if the former leadership remained in place, the Kachuku have been said to have been suspended. For the party, not even now. since 2023 or thereabouts. So he does not have any legal standing, neither as a party leader, because he is not a member, haven't been suspended, and not even a member of the National Working Committee, so he has no local standing to begin to discuss these issues. But we know that this is a time for political jobbers, and the ruling party is afraid of going to election and free and fair election. They want to undermine every process and other political parties, which is a shame. How can a party that is doing well, that have been announcing their successes, be afraid of facing other political parties at the ballot? That is a shame. That is a shame. If that is what they call politics, not politics, criminality. Allow the political parties do their thing. Go and tell Nigerians what you have done, your achievement, and tell them what you will do more. Good governance is the way out, not propaganda and manipulation and rascality. We should be careful. I am warning how elections in other countries have led to major civil war and collapse of society. We should not get there. It happened in 1983. The ruling party then were misbehaving. We had the likes of Late Tomorrow Diko. They were all running at they were importing wine with their names on it. They were riding roughshod on this country, talking down on people, and provoked the Kake boys to strike. And we went into that mess for 30 years. And now we are coming back to blame military era for having brought us to our knees. And today they are using military to install illegal government in rivers, and we are still thinking that we are normal.
All right. Mr. Great Imo, thank you so much for giving us your time. I sincerely do appreciate this deep insight, this intellectual insight you've given to us this evening on some of the issues raised here on the Evening Rush.
Thank you very much.
Thank you very much. Ladies and gentlemen, we're taking a very short break. The Evening Rush commences shortly.
Admissions are now open for the October 2025 and January 2026 intakes at Lancaster University, Ghana. Get ready for a world-class education, global opportunities, and an unforgettable experience right from Ghana. For more information, contact us at +234 0701 708 9214 or email us at nigeria@lancaster.edu.gh. Apply today and begin your journey to success with Lancaster University, Ghana. Your future starts now.
Customer, welcome. What do you want buy?
I want buy changeover. Contact fuse and distribution board made of 100% heavy duty copper.
Oh, come, I get that. See, I'm here.
No, now I'm looking for Splatter Star J contact fuse and distribution board, Nipo contact fuse, Star J solar battery, inverter, MPPT controller, and solar panel.
But Oga,
don't worry. I know where to get them. Whether na Star J changeover contact fuse, Splatter distribution board, Nipo contact fuse, Star J solar battery, inverter, MPPT controller, and solar panel, Star J ceiling fan, sockets, all earthen materials. Make you no go do cover-wise pan foolish show. Splatter Star J Indian product, na number 1 since 1961. Made of 100% heavy-duty solid copper with no compromise. Available in all leading electrical shops nationwide. Splatter Star J, na you eco.
Welcome back. This is still the Evening Rush right here on Voice of the People 90.3 FM. If you are just joining us, well, we just finished an extensive session with Mr. Great Imo. He is an author, a social and political commentator, and trust me, he has actually expressed himself in some of the topics of interest that we reeled out right here. Mr. Tony Bata, once again, welcome. And Mr. Lawal Ekundai, the man of the people, I officially welcome you. How are you this evening?
give glory to God.
All right, let's start off with what I was asking Mr. Great Imo about INEC's participation in certain issues that has to do with political parties in this country. There have been accusations, several accusations on INEC's attitude in terms of accelerating in processing issues within political parties so that there can be some form of orderliness or organization with the party. For example, the just concluded by-elections that took place had some issues as well with INEC, where it took time for INEC to do the needful before the time of the election. For example, you saw that of Julius Aburi. INEC knew that the Supreme Court judgment which was presented, it was actually very direct and obvious, but they still kept Julius Aburi as the chairman of the Labour Party. Now, there were persons who emerged as candidates under Julius Aburi, and just a few days to the by-elections, INEC delisted Julius Aburi, meaning that those who were supposedly nominated under the leadership of Julius Aburi were no longer recognized. Now, they had spent their time, resources, waiting for their campaign to commence. They did not campaign, they couldn't do anything, and they were not part of the by-election. These are the encumbrances that is surrounding INEC. Also, Nigerians believe that INEC as an institution is not independent. They complain about the 2023 elections, how it was conducted, the 2019 elections, how it was conducted, and they complain that INEC is easily induced, okay, or there is a political motivation behind INEC. Now, the question is this: why the delay in the ADC? Although Bolaji Abdullahi has come out to tell us that it's just a normal procedure, but there are talks that this is a deliberate attempt to stall wherever it is Peterobi is, and that is why he has been quiet. Nobody has heard anything as to what political party he belongs. But there are fears that if he does not decide on time, it may ruin his plausible chance in 2027. But how would you respond to this quickly?
Okay, I'll start with the ADC.
Okay.
When there was a change of leadership and INEC was there, when INEC was there, we expect INEC to give his comment. Is that not it? You attended the meeting. So the next day you're supposed to give your comment now. Whether you accepted that meeting, the leadership that came up from that meeting, or the decision that came up from that meeting, or you don't, you will have put it on your website, you will have made your own comment about it, and they will know where you are going. What they will do, that they will remain indifferent. You know that tactics, neither here nor there. They will now wait until towards the end, when that thing is exceptional, well needed. That's when they will now take the decision, and there will be issues. This keeps showing us that Nigeria, we have a lot to do if we want to live a normal life like every other people in another country. Why is it that almost every election that is conducted in Nigeria, in this INEC thing, is questionable? People don't believe it, people don't trust it, people go to court. It's worrisome. It's like JAMB. After conducting exams, the candidate begin to go to court. You get what I'm saying? Or maybe WAEC, after conducting, or maybe a teacher, your students decide to, after you give them tests, decide to protest against you, that what you did. If they protest against you before the principal, what do you think the principal will do? It will call for a review immediately. But not in Nigeria. People keep complaining about the method, the methodology, the process, and the outcome of INEC elections, and the principals simply keep quiet. There are so many complaints about the way their decisions, and the principals simply keep quiet, to let you know that the fundamental question needs to be answered by the principals. I'm talking about the president, the House of Assembly, the Senate. That are you the one controlling the INEC? Because you seem not to talk.
All right. Mr. Tony Mbata, for example, Ralph Omosu said that INEC is not the one that determines the party leadership. It is the party itself that determines their leadership. So if that is the case, INEC is not the one that determines party leadership, why is INEC a key factor to determining the authenticity of a party? Why I'm asking that question is what happened recently with Julius Saburi after the Supreme Court gave its judgment and said the internal party mechanism is meant to be responsible for this, and that of a certain day Julius Saburi is no longer recognized as the chairman of the Labour Party. He should stop parading himself henceforth or forthwith, but that it is the responsibility of the party to determine its leadership, right? How come that a CTC copy of that judgment had to be given to the INEC office for them to determine it, and then he supposedly recognize it officially and update it on his website? And when INEC did not respond in due course, why couldn't another leadership or, I don't know, party members do what needs to be done until they waited for INEC to delist Julius Saburi?
Let me tell you what is happening.
Okay.
INEC, they don't have the power to determine the leadership of any political party. It is there that the party will bring their leadership and submit to INEC, whom they have choose. But because INEC is part of APC, now what they did to Aburi, and this should be a lesson to most of these politicians, that APC is working with every institution to make sure they suppress opposition political party. I'm coming. So what INEC did in collaboration with APC was, now don't act on the judgment of the Supreme Court about Aburi. Allow him, romance with him, let him feel his candidate.
Were you there?
I'm coming. This is the game.
No, that's
this allegedly game. Let me allow me to land, please.
Okay.
This is, in politics, a lot of things, a lot of mathematics is there, and some of them are dangerous to the society. Some of them are toxic to this nation. Now allow Aburi to be parading and let them move. Now they know that at this election there may be a surprise that Labour did to them, because when Labour Party came on board, they said Labour cannot do anything. Now the mind of those people plotting this is that now this is the time for election. Let us now act and demarcate it and make it clear so that Aburi people cannot spring any surprise to them. Now they allow them to be parading with them. That is to tell you that institution in this country is not working, and APC have hijacked every institution. When you are talking about the principles supposed to come and tell us if they are controlling INEC, who are the principles? Is it not the legislator, the presidency, and the judiciary, whereby every other person are working for the presidency? And that's why I say this ab initio. When you are in power, when God gave you opportunity to rule, please make good use of it.
How come?
Because I'm driving to a point. When Obasanjo was there, Obasanjo is one of the best presidents that this country has produced.
Are you sure?
But Obasanjo put us into this quagmire by allowing what happened during Maurice Iwu tenure. We know what happened. We are not novice to all these things. And when he was doing it, he didn't know that one day you will hand over. And that person will take over, and they will do worse than what you are doing. The only time Nigeria have gotten it right was when Humphrey Nwosu, an incorrigible INEC chairman that could not allow the intimidation of the military, he proceeded by announcing those things. That today people will say Abiola won the election because somebody stood. So what we are having, Obasanjo helped in putting us into this mess we are into. Anytime you have opportunity to be in a leadership, please do it for the posterity's sake, because you may do it because of what you are getting at that particular time. Very soon it will boomerang. So what INEC is doing is the template that the ruling party is giving them, and they are playing it very well. This is dangerous to this society. And by the time when Mr. Imo was talking, he said, I am warning them. We have been warning them here. It will happen. Something happened. There was a story that was told. A story. And one professor was busy collecting money, giving people medical students, giving them mark, and they were graduating. And most of them cannot even do anything. They don't know what they are doing. And for a long time, some of them become medical doctors, committing a lot of atrocities that they are curing people. One of those years when the professor was very old, professor was sick, and then I took professor to one of the hospitals that those people that he was collecting money, knowing fully well they don't know anything, was the chief medical center director to treat him. And when he now opened his eye, and behold, it was that young man that they always collect money to pass. He said, are you going to treat me? He said, Professor, hold on, I will treat you. And he treated the professor died. That is the result of what APC is doing to this country. INEC is a problem of this country. Because if INEC should do what they're supposed to do, most of these charlatans that are in the leadership cannot win election. They cannot win councillorship election. I beat my heart. If we conduct free and fair election, you will see that people like FCC minister cannot even come to power. Who are they?
And if I may say something, it's so worrisome. You get it? I sat down. I began to think that this Nwosu that conducted that election during the time of Abiola, when we were coming to this democracy, why did they not use him to set a precedent for others to follow? Do you know what they did?
You're referring to late Humphrey Moses.
Yes.
Look at what is happening to Peterobi today. And both APC, both PDP, both everybody want Peterobi to. They want to harness the potentiality in this young man and not allow him, giving him the chance.
But
So
the question is, you're making your political speculation about the APC having a huge influence into the disparity or conflict of interest within the opposition political parties, or that the APC is responsible for inducing INEC in delaying to authenticate issues within the political parties. There is no evidence of that.
But I told that it's not only APC. It started with PDP. You know, when I was doing my analysis,
PDP
did it.
PDP from 2023 with the G5 extraction out of it, the PDP already created the avenue for that to happen. So this was even at the very hot spot of the election. So what I'm saying is that the comatose of the PDP.
I don't completely agree with you on that. You know why? If PDP had done what APC is doing now, APC will never be in this power. You should remember
they were doing it because they were doing it, having human face, not knowing that there is an adage in my local dialect. I don't know how to say it in English. They say, "Oh, somebody is swimming. The baby in the stomach is learning."
All right.
PDP was doing it, still having human face, still doing things. But now we have monsters.
How will Nigerians protect
there should be a national protest. Go to INEC and demand what we want. And anytime any electoral
Mr. Tony Mbata, we are not calling for a protest.
It's not a protest of this for demanding a good governance. It's our right. It's our right. It's our fundamental right to say we need this and make sure that people are being put in the leadership. You can't use somebody that studies Igbo linguistic and you make him a minister of health.
Well,
can you do that?
Distance itself from the accusations from a lot of Nigerians.
What do you think they will say?
Used to influence.
What did you do? We saw what happened. Look, okay. Why should INEC give a voter register to River State? And we saw what happened. Not even in River State. All the elections so far conducted. Did you see what happened? Is there any election? Yeah. Go and watch what is going to happen in Alhambra. That's why Chukwuma Soludo is busy wearing a Tinubu's cap. They know that election is being written. You will see.
Well, if it is in that regard, most of the ad hoc staff of INEC that were part of electoral malpractices during the 2023 elections, INEC chairman has refused to parade them since. The court even said he will be charged with contempt for not presenting those individuals.
He will not. Who are the people putting the state electoral commissioners now? Who are they? Some of them are cousin to Wike. Some of them, Senate president. We know these things now. They are putting them.
Wike is already speaking on when Fubara would return.
Look at it.
Again, the Trump government has also promised to sanction corrupt judges in Nigeria, in other countries. I'm sure you know that. They've also told that anyone who commits a visa fraud will be banned for life. They're warning Nigerians. The UK too is doing the same thing as well. And so right now, plus the $5 billion cut in foreign aid, Trump's administration is cutting about $5 billion fund in foreign aid. So most of the aid that they usually grant to African countries will experience cuts in there. First of all, for some of you who are living frivolous lifestyles, you better be very careful, because funding for HIV vaccines may actually drop. Hepatitis, diabetes, all of these are usually subsidizes drugs and immunization may be cut off, because that's what Trump is actually telling us. Ladies and gentlemen, I'd like to get your thoughts and perception to what has been discussed right here on the Evening Rush. The number to call is 080-3692-9933, 080-3692-9933. 0816929933. The WhatsApp number is 0817175638. Okay, that's the WhatsApp number. Hello, good evening. How are you?
Good evening.
Good evening. What's your name?
Okay, is my name from Ottawa.
Otto Awori. Welcome, sir. Please go ahead. Turn down the volume of your radio.
Ottawa, along Badagry.
All right. Go ahead, sir.
I don't have much to say than our president to try and see that Nigeria are suffering. Nigeria are suffering. They are suffering. They are really suffering. And the president must take active. He should react, because look at this removal of subsidy. Buhari have done this thing before Tulumbu came. Buhari cannot announce, so he wants Tulumbu to announce, and Tulumbu announced now. The problem bounced on Tulumbu. People started shouting Tulumbu, without knowing that Buhari has done this thing. So our president must take decisive action. Don't let anybody push you. They are pushing him. There are some cabal behind Tulumbu. They don't want him to succeed. And Tulumbu must succeed. The Baba I know,
who are those cabal? Who are those cabal?
But because of this cabal, okay, look at Jonathan, good Lord Jonathan. When some cabal are telling Jonathan that he should remove INEC chairman, he should remove INEC chairman. So Jonathan think that if he do that, many people will suffer. He takes his action, he takes decisive action, and he congratulates Buhari. That is what makes Jonathan.
Thank you very much for calling. 08036929933. Please go ahead.
No, let me clarify something to the caller. Buhari did not remove subsidy.
Okay.
He didn't.
No, he did not.
He stopped at his own. The last day in office. He paid
in June.
Yeah, so he left it for the next leadership, which is President Tinubu, to make his own decision. So his own decision was that he doesn't want to continue to pay it. So it was not Buhari who removed subsidy. He paid it to the last day of his office.
And there is no cabal. So, Tinubu is his cabal himself.
The president has even said it, that there is no cabal. He's acutely aware of what is going on. Hello. Good evening. Good evening, sir. Sir?
Yes, good evening.
Good evening, sir.
Yes, I call you like my daddy, Darlington. Yes, I like your shoe.
Thank you so much.
Good evening, Mr. Mugata.
Good evening, sir.
I like what you people are doing in the studio.
Thank you, sir.
Yes, I do it. I did a verse from Ejibo, a verse light from Ejibo.
All right, so welcome.
Yes, for me, I'm trying to say this. I know if I say this, you will cut me. But I'm not trying to insult anyone, but this is people, it's a group. Yes, I would say that APC is a virus in Nigeria. APC are not funding everybody to politicians. I know this thing has not been like this before. Everybody mind their business. Politicians are doing their own. You do your business freely. Yes, I'm talking to man because this government affects me. I wish you knew me. You have known me before under PDP government. If you see me now, people are asking me what is happening. And I'm working more than how I used to work before. I cannot even, I'm working every day, but if you ask me what I'm doing, if that's when you be like, I'm going outside today. I'm not trying to call this up, but I just want to say APC is a virus in Nigeria. Thank you.
Thank you for calling. Trust me, a lot of persons are being affected.
Me too.
It's like you're working and what you're earning is
keep borrowing money, running your factory.
Effort you're putting
Let me
in.
explain it better. You are waiting for salary. The moment you collect that salary, you are afraid to spend it.
Only
Because you know
those of us that are entrepreneurs, I am owing money now.
That's the way. If somebody wants to pay, even when you do job, you'll be expecting the money. When you collect the money, you are afraid to spend it.
Mr. Are you not seeing that my neck is getting long? I know they rely on the salary. I don't work. from morning to night at the work. Wallahi. You hey God. Oh. Hello, good evening. How are you?
Hello.
Good evening, sir. Welcome.
Yeah. Good evening.
How are you, sir?
And yes, sir.
Yes, sir. What's your name, sir?
This is from this. Also, I'm calling from Ogun State.
From Ogun State. Welcome, sir. Please go ahead.
You see, I don't know how you feel if I say something now. You see, are this the reason why most of you keep on bringing a lot of analysts to your studio?
Okay.
Where you cannot be able to allow them to say what they have in mind, so that it will enable us to move forward.
What do you mean, sir?
Excuse me, you can cut me off because that's what you have been doing.
No, don't be aggressive, please. What do you mean by what you're saying?
I'm not aggressive. Everybody is feeling the pain in this country.
Okay.
What APC did to PDP has not done it 1 quarter.
Okay.
But I'm telling you,
Okay.
what this Tinubu did to APC, to PDP has not done it. I don't know why they're silent.
Okay.
Yes. Everybody is feeling it. They're feeling the heat.
Okay, what do you mean by saying that we don't allow analysts to speak? What exactly are you talking about?
Are they coming to govern the dead? And that's what I'm asking you. Please allow the analysts to be expressing their feeling.
Did we stop any analysts from speaking? Okay, I think you need to wake up. I think you have something in your mind before now because I don't understand.
The man is angry, so you want to pour it on you.
Hey.
So absorb it. Okay, no verse. All of us are feeling it.
Down, no
need of coming down.
And see my neck. And sass along.
This is your beautiful neck.
Hello, good evening. How are you? Hello.
Hello, David.
Turn down the volume of your radio, I beg. Anybody I hear the radio in the background, I'm part of the person. Please, what's your name, sir?
David.
Good evening.
I greet you and your guest.
Thank you very much, sir.
You are doing a nice job.
Thank you.
The woman that say Kabaz attack the government.
Don't be woman, I'm
Is the Kabaz attack River State Assembly state of emergency? Is it the one? Is it them that told him to declare state of emergency in River State? Or the Osun local government allocation since March this year? Exactly, Abi? Is it the Kabaz that told him to see the allocation in Osun State? See, my people should rise up from their slumber. They should call the spade. When a man is failing, tell the person that he is failing because this thing will boomerang to you tomorrow. I'm telling you the truth.
all right.
They should stop supporting evil. Tell the man is not doing well. And Mr. Ikuda has said it that Buhari is not the one that knows first subsidy. Buhari came, Buhari said he wanted to elapse, and he said that he did not make provision for first subsidy. That if the coming government will go on with first subsidy, no wahala. Then this man came in, he didn't even start on that seat. On the inauguration day, the man said, first subsidy is gone. Is it why that told me to tell Nigeria first subsidy is gone? People should tell you that he's a failure. So that woman should, I don't know whether it's a woman that come up.
It's not a woman, but thank you very much for calling. 08036929933. That is the number, all right, to call, and the WhatsApp number to send your messages to is 0817-1756-338. 0817-1756-338. That is a WhatsApp number. Hello, good evening. How are you?
Hello, Esther. Good evening.
Good evening, sir. What's your name, please?
Good evening to Mr. Kundayo and Mr. Tony Bata.
Good evening, sir.
Good evening, sir.
My name is Mary. I'm calling from Texas.
Mayor, welcome, sir. Please.
Yeah, well done. You're doing a good job, Esther.
Thank you.
I enjoyed the analysis of that Mr. Imo from Abuja. He spoke very well.
Mr. Greatimoya.
Yes, one of the key points which I want Nigerians to take note, if possible, underline it or embody it in capital letter is INEC is a weapon fashioned against Nigeria. And that is a fact. And this is the right time for Nigerians to wake up. Whether north, south, east, Christian, Muslim, whatever, because like people that spoke before now, everybody is feeling the heat of Tinubu's maladministration. Tinubu has failed completely, so we should focus on INEC and fight INEC to finish. Because INEC, from what they are from the signs we are seeing now, INEC is not ready to do the right thing. In fact, we might even, if we keep quiet, we might even see the worst of it more than 2023. So the earlier we sit up and fight this monster called INEC and judiciary and tell them that they are not bigger than Nigerians, the earlier the better. That is all my own, because for now, we are not, in fact, we can't even contemplate of Tinubu's second term. If we think about it, that should be a nightmare of Tinubu coming back there.
All right.
The best thing is to fight this monster in INEC and Israel. Thank you. Good night.
Thank you. Good night. 08036929933. 08036929933. Hello. Good evening. How are you? Turn down the volume of your radio, please. Please turn it off or you step away from that access completely. Hello.
I greet the house.
Yes. Good evening, sir. What's your name, please?
Yeah, this is Mazi Douglas, Buffett on Lome.
All right. Calling from Lome.
I greet the house. I want to ask one question.
Okay.
Please, from presidency to the local government chairman, are they up to 5 million?
No.
Please. Are they up to 5 million?
Up to 2.
They are not up to 5 million.
500, 3 million. They're not up to 2 million.
Because why I'm saying this,
1 million.
because they think that we are dumb. Just look at what happened to River State. 23 government, they take 20. Obiapo, the local government of UK, they just give it to PDP. Even a primary school student, why are they behaving like this? One day, monkey go market, come back to, hey sir, you are doing a great job. Keep it on, and God bless you.
Thank you very much. Thank you for calling. 08036929933 and the WhatsApp number is 081717563338. Hello, sir. Welcome. What is your name?
Hello, Esther. Good evening.
Good evening, sir.
Yeah, this is Tunde from Sashi.
Tunde from.
This is Tunde from Sashi. Not the normal Tunde that I used to call it the normal Tinubu.
Oh my
Tunde.
God. He's free to align anywhere he wants to, sir. But go ahead.
So the problem we are having in this country is tribalism and religion. That's just the problem we are having. With all this now that even everybody is able to hit now is problem of everybody. Sometimes if I talk in my area, I say, Tinubu is doing bad though, Tinubu is not good though. At least this of your people that will say, you know all those kind of things. That this our brother, who are we going to follow? Upon the fact that we cannot even, nobody can even hit Temo again. I don't even remember the last time that I heard Temo last. But still, is my brother. I can't follow anybody. It's only my brother that will follow. When are we going to leave all these our tribalism and religion, this thing? Because this person is Muslim. My daddy is Muslim because Tinubu is Muslim now. So my daddy today, that my daddy, I know how much I sent to him before. I know how much I've been sending to him now. I know how much he struggled to eat now. But still, because Tinubu is Alaji, Tinubu is Muslim. They still say, the next election is nobody, can't vote for anybody. It's because the Muslim. But where are we going? Where are we going? And our major problem again is this INEC. Where are we going to? When are we going to stop all this? When is Nigeria going to move on? When Nigeria goes, in fact, I don't know what to say. Thank you, please. Thank you.
Thank you very much for calling. 08036929933. Okay, 08036929933. Hello, good evening. How are you?
Hello, good evening.
Good evening, sir. Welcome. What's your name?
My name is Uchenna from Ikotu.
Mr. Uchenna, turn off your radio. 08036929933. 08036929933. Hello, good evening, sir. Welcome.
Good evening, Esther.
Good evening, sir. What's your name, please?
Good evening. My name is Okudele, calling from Alawado.
All right, Mr. Okudele, please go ahead.
I greet your guests, Mr. Mbata and Bundayo.
Good evening, sir.
Welcome. I greet you. May God bless you for coming.
Thank you, sir.
My sister Esther,
sir,
and your guests, I want to tell us something. The day that this country got spoiled was the day that our president assumed office. He has not even assumed office. That's the day we started facing these challenges. I believe that morning, I filled my tank with 12,000 725 naira.
Wow.
Then immediately our president announced subsidy is gone. Subsidy is gone. Fuel was for me to fill the tank the following day was for something thousand. Today, if I want to fill my tank, I will spend about eight something thousand. And this thing is every week. Because from Alabado to Kenya, where I do business, I must carry my boys to go to shop. So, and the people should remember something. When you go to filling station or you go to market to buy garri or pepper or onions, there's no any market that says this Igbo, this is also this APC, this PDP or this Yoruba. The only thing they say there, Oga, this is the last price of market I'm selling. But people are still supporting it for. But they should remember that one day we will go. After we leave this country, after we leave this world, God will ask us questions. All the politicians. And if you go to cemetery, they should go to cemetery and ask themselves and look. Then they will not come and they have everything. If they can go to cemetery. I know that the only thing we hold in this world is 6 feet. Nobody to die and they bury him with money or anything. Apart from that, God, the Christian, Muslim, they bury with wrapper. So that's my own take. They should go to the cemetery and we can have a think of what they are doing to us. Thank you and God bless you.
Thank you. Hello, good evening. How are you? Hello, 08036929933. Hello, welcome. What's your name? Hello. Okay, this person doesn't know they're live. 08036929933. That's the number. Hello. I've always told you to turn down the volume of your radio when you call. Hello. Hello. Okay, you haven't done that. 08036929933. Hello, good evening. What's your name? Hello. Okay, why are we having drop calls? What's going on? 08036929933. Hello, good evening. How are you?
Hello, good evening.
Good evening. Please speak louder. What's your name?
Good evening. My name is Samson. I'm calling from Ikeja.
Samson calling from where?
Ikeja.
All right, Samson. Well done. But please, projects, be audible.
All right. Good evening. I appreciate the work you are doing.
Thank you very much, Samson.
The book analyst there also.
Okay.
I think that the government is one of corrupt.
Samson, I can't hear you well. I don't know if it's your network. Hello, good evening.
Hello.
Yes, hello, welcome. Good evening. What's your name, please?
Good evening, Esther.
Good evening, sir. Welcome, sir.
Thank you. This is Boyesen calling from Afromedia.
Boyesen, welcome. How are you today, sir?
Thank you very much. I greet all your guests. I greet them.
Thank you.
And I say, God will bless them for speaking the truth.
Thank you,
sir. Email.
Those people you bring, those your guests, they always speak the truth. Yeah, and God will bless them.
Thank you.
Amen.
You see, until we tell ourselves that bitter truth, that this country is not being run the way it should be run, that is just the bitter truth. And I don't know why our people continue to deceive ourselves. Just like the other guy his name is Tunde or so. That's just the truth. We're too deceiving ourselves, following ethnic lines. Now my brother there, I will do this, I need this and that. That is rubbish. That's the honest truth.
All right.
Until we wake up to say enough is enough, because we are hungry. A lot of people are hungry. People are suffering. I've been saying it. Esther, you can bear me witness.
Okay.
Am I right or wrong?
You are.
You're right.
Hello.
We can hear you, sir. Go ahead.
You can hear me.
Yes, sir.
So I said, please, Nigerians should wake up and do away with sentiments, tribal sentiments, religious sentiments, and come together and condemn this evil that this APC government is dishing out to us. Right. That is all I can say. I can't say more than that.
Thank you.
Thank you very much. Thank you.
Yes. Hello. Good evening. How are you?
Yeah. Good evening. I am. Good evening. Is it VOP FM?
Yes, sir. This is VOP 90.3 FM, sir.
Yes, I am Mr. Chidi calling from Oshodi.
Mr. Chidi from Oshodi, please kindly go ahead, sir.
Yes, there's a little contribution I want to contribute about this issue. I often listen to your programs. I want to know something. All these things people complain and call on FM, does it really works? Because sometimes they call and at the point no effectiveness, nothing happens about it.
It's our job to highlight these issues and give the platform for Nigerians to express themselves. They have aides that listen to all the radio and television stations. Trust me, they have aides that listen. So it may not necessarily, you may not feel it, but sometimes they respond and they react to some of the things being said.
Okay, another thing I want to say is just this. Our major problem is just INEC. If INEC should be free and fair, if the election is free and fair, everybody will vote for whom they like. Whatever person they like, whomsoever they like, they will vote. And if INEC is free and fair, our problem, in fact, to say is just INEC. That's all.
Wow. So thank you very much. Thank you for calling. If a people do not trust the institution that is meant to determine their future, what is the essence of the existence of that institution?
That means we need to do something.
Who needs to do something?
We the Nigeria. You see, military gave us a constitution. Say we the Nigerians. When have we sat down that to decide? So
hello.
See.
Hello. Good evening.
Imagine.
Hello.
Hello, my name is Chuga. I'm calling for Jake.
All right, sir. Please go ahead.
There's our late president, our president right now, they're calling from Ahmed. But Ahmed Tinubu said I think go to stop for where brother stop. You know that is a failure. If you listen to word of the man no come to gentle for this country. Since they are listening, with the entire street, you can see how people are dying like foul every day. And our president just they travel overseas every time. I don't know. The foreign knows I don't understand. They are traveling outside country. How many that presidents of that country are traveling, coming to our side, come visit Nigeria? That is still I'm not understand this our current president now. Every time I travel, your house in the fire. You cannot sit down, think what I can do with people are really.
All right, thank you.
I'm angry as I'm talking to people.
Bye. Hello, good evening. How are you?
Yes, sir.
Good evening, sir. Turn down the volume of your radio, sir. What's your name, please?
Yes, Mr. Chris, I'm calling from Shasha.
All right, sir. Please go ahead.
Please, one of the main reasons why they remove Abure from labor because of Peterobi have left labor. They wanted to use Abure to frustrate Peterobi. So maybe they saw Peterobi went to ADC. They now remove Abure to bring Peterobi back. So what I want to say is that INEC should continue. The day this problem they are causing will come, they will not be able to comprehend the heat. This was the same thing SARS was doing then. INEC, to the lowest staff, the day the youth will rise up for INEC in this country, people will be surprised. Are we that heartless? Maybe everybody see what they are doing. Now they not even write result in public, not even in hidden place. They have made it a tradition in this country that if you do not ring election, you will not win election. They should continue, but the day INEC day will break, Nigeria will be surprised what they will see that day. They should continue. They should not keep on doing what they are doing. So their chairman to the lowest staff, they will collect. Thank you.
Thank you very much. Let me take some messages now. So in case you're calling, I don't pick your calls, please kindly bear with me. Good evening to you and your analyst, Esther Wachiko. More power to your elbow. In my language, it is said that, and I quote, where a child is crying and pointing at a direction, the father is not there, the mother is there. The paid Nigerian masses are clamoring for electoral reform. Hence, almost all the politicians are scared of Mr. Peterobi's ambition to salvage the impoverished Nigerians. It should be noted that if there is no electoral reform, there will be no free and fair election. Even you and your analysts in the studio know the truth. At the proper time, God will surely show up. God bless Nigeria. Amoyeze Peter Chibuzo. Well done, sir. Good evening, dear VOP. Onyebuchi Aradiobu from Ojo. Please, Nigerians should do away with tribal sentiment and religious sentiments and vote wisely in the next election. Good evening. My name is Ugonna. Esther, good evening. Esther, please pick my call. What happened? Hey, who said so? I pick calls at random. All right? You can actually send a message, please. This person says, hello, VOP. Hello to you too. What's your name? You didn't tell us what you want to say. Good evening, Esther. In as much as I enjoy your program and your analyst, I think it's high time all the analysts stop making comments about Nigeria because it's not yielding any positive result. Everyone should follow the steps of Kingsley Moghalu, who boldly said that he won't comment on Nigeria's issue again on any platform. Ola from Ali Mosho.
Well, that's a
If
problem.
somebody slap you, you should.
Well, that's a
Don't
problem.
cry. You just keep
Good
quiet.
evening, Esther, Mr. Great Emir and Co. Esther, and surprised about all this border dash coming from the presidency. I don't expect less from the number of hypocritical, unpatriotic, undemocratic, greedy, selfish, and self-centered, terrible persons. I bought one egg roll, 600 naira yesterday. One pint of rice, 8,000 naira. One pint of beans, 7,000 naira. One tin milk is 1,000 naira. How much was all these before they forced themselves into power? These old, selfish, and self-centered persons with wicked things they can rule forever and live forever, but they can't. Karma must surely visit them. Emperor, you for write your full name with your full chest when you dey write this kind thing. Okay? Good evening, VOP. INEC chairman should learn work from Mrs. Oates in Abia State. In fact, that woman deserves a award in this country. INEC is our problem in this country. Emeka from Lusada. All right, thank you very much, Emeka. Hashtag INEC is a weapon fashioned against Nigeria by the APC government. Let it go viral. Daddy praise from Itere. No sensible country in the world would import food amounting to billions of dollars when such country isn't built on water or suffering from 365 days flooding. Even countries in water-prone areas have developed ways to grow their own food. It's ridiculous and a great risk to health and agriculture. Safe to importing some consumables called food with origins that are not really known, sometimes packaged in fraudulent fancy wraps to attract gullible and lazy countries who can't use their brain to think of growing and producing food that suits their environment to benefit the health of their people. Sometimes I wonder how I find myself in such a country that has become a junkyard for everything scrap. Citizens are living like scavengers looking for scraps to feast on, not minding the health implications or cost of finding oneself in a quack medical system with angry nurses and frustrated doctors. What kind of country is Nigeria? Where are Nigerians from? Is a country destined to be unfortunate by fate or by choice? What a country where things seem to function backwards. Tay. Now you. All right. Okay. This person says, good morning. We're in the evening. Good evening, Esther and the great guest. On that subsidy, if you remember, they said there is no provision for subsidy in the budget, but on the long run, they are not working with the budget. Is that not propaganda? Tony from Udogunyo. Good evening, Miss Esther, Mr. Great Emery, Dr. Is Mr. Are you a doctor, Mr. Tony Bata?
No.
Okay, Mr. Tony Bata and Mr. Ekwendar. It is time for Nigerians and civil society activists to rise and take a stand against the illegal actions of INEC and the declaration of fraudulent election results. As for the individual who claim there is a cabal within the government, he should be bold enough to name them. This administration thrives on propaganda and misinformation. Email from Lagos. So far for Niger. This person write long song. Okay. Mary from Ekafa, I agree with Tony Bata that Nigerians should protest against INEC to give us a credible election result. Up till now, they have not explained why presidential election result was announced while Nigerians were asleep. Good evening. Okay. I want to read this one. They said this administration have captured INEC, judiciary, security agencies, but can't capture the angry and hungry Nigerians that are ready to show APC the exit door come 2027. Ikoro from Igondo. Good evening, my good people at VOP. INEC is an integral part of APC. Nothing lasts forever. Something will happen very soon that will cage them, and that is nothing but proper electoral reform. Opaleye Emmanuel from Isolo. The opposition party leaders are very dominant and afraid to talk, act, and take actions against the excesses of INEC and the ruling party through positive reactions to the courts, legislation, and peaceful demonstrations. Good evening, Rush. Please, I disagree with people that INEC is our electoral system. The main problem of electoral system in Nigeria today is the judiciary and the opposition parties who are not active in action to oppose the wrongdoings of INEC and the party in power. The judiciary has the power of applying contempt to disobedience of its orders, but because it appears that the courts might be compromised to be given flimsy, watery judgments or rulings, the legislature are not free from this act. The court has the power to hold in contempt any person, institution that disobeys its orders. Also, the courts do delay a lot in the dispensation of urgent national interest of this democracy, as can be seen in the cases of Rivers Labour Party. If the court has been fair and honest, INEC has no power because it is not the final arbiter in the electoral system in Nigeria today. This is from Ken. Yemi from Lagos. Yemi in Lagos. INEC and the ADC imbroglio. All right. Esther should have introduced this analyst appropriately. All the three are not independent analysts. Rather, they are only playing the opposition to the ruling party. Are they pretending not to be aware of the intra-party crisis in the ADC? Why should everything that happened in other party be blamed on the ruling party? Apparently, the ADC is in crisis within, and we all know this. Let's remember that ADC was already existing before all these disgruntled politicians came in with a common agenda, which is to have their pound of flesh on Tinubu and the APC, and not necessarily to provide a better alternative. I believe that the VOP and its clearly biased and jaundiced analysts should have first found out why the INEC had refused to admit the leaders so presented. Are we pretending that some of the original members have massively rejected any form of imposition by these newcomers? Let's be objective and dispassionate for once. This is from Yemi in Lagos. Well, he actually asked potent questions which I asked, and I asked, remember I said, for example, that the ADC, immediately they announced the party adopted as a new coalition. I said there were already issues from Tumebi Kachuku to two other persons who were in the party claiming that they were the chairman of the party and all that. So the question now is it that the APC knew that the ADC will be the party that will be used as a coalition before they start causing all these internal situations? That's another angle to look at things anyway. But Yemi has his thoughts and opinion and perception. But please, we're not biased and jaundiced, Yemi. Don't make a general statement like that. I had to read it because I tried to let you people know that we don't select messages that we read. We read messages as they come, although it's random. Not all the time that we take all the messages. You wanted to say something?
Yes. What I want to say is that INEC was at their meeting. They invited you now for officially, not for you to come and wine and dine. They invited you officially to make official pronouncement of what they have done. And you didn't make official pronouncement. You didn't say yes or no. Is that not your fault? Because if you have said, okay, this is the, I was at the meeting, this is the official people I saw there, and anybody who is against that will not go to court. You understand? Or take their opposition.
You are going far,
sir. Quiet. You didn't.
You are going far. You are going far. Before INEC will accept any invitation for such, they must have clarified it through their legal team whether it is authentic invitation before they will go. So when they honor such invitation, it means that the whole thing passed through the due process. So these things are, and the other one Yemi was saying that why should we blame ruling party? And you see, this is a game that they have already set machineries in place waiting for where they will happen. That's why they are still asking Obi declare. What is their business of Obi declaring the political party he want to run? Because they want to set their arsenal into those places in order to destroy it. So Obi knows what he's doing. That's what they did to ADC. Remember that Yeso Wike refused to allow ADC to make use of the former place they want to use, and they overhead them. So they can use anybody. This man, the former presidential candidate of them, was suspended, and it's a valuable tool for them to use to do whatever they're going to use. Most of Nigerians are gullible. Give them money, they will do the dirty job, and that is what they are looking for, so that they will take it off from there.
And it's the business of the executive. It's the business of the president.
Yes.
The president, because he's the one who gave us the chairman of INEC. So it's his responsibility.
Hello, good evening.
Esther.
Sir, welcome, sir.
Esther, how many times I called you? You know you like to pick a call.
No, I was reading messages. I was reading our messages. Welcome,
Esther, it's Joe from Bariga.
Mr. Joe, welcome, sir.
Yeah, well done. All of them in the studio there, I greet all of them, eh?
Thank you, sir.
Good evening, sir.
Good. Esther, you know what is surprising me about this, Mr. President? This evening he was saying, I made a lot of money for Nigerians. I made a lot of money. So one person was asking him, say, sir, if you have made a lot of money, why the poor Nigerians are not feeling the money you are making? The money you are making, is it for only National Assembly and their justice or their judiciary?
Governors.
So they were asking him, and he didn't know what to answer. Mister, we have said several times about this man. You know, remember when he said, if I remove the fuel subsidy or the oil subsidy, he said, I'm going to make Nigeria look like London overnight. So I'm expecting to behave what he has said. Make Nigeria look like London overnight, so that we'll be grateful, we'll be happy that these people you are ruling, they are enjoying. Esther, I don't know where this man is taking us to. Mr. President, where are you taking us to? Mr. President, where are you taking us to? I've asked this question several times with that number. Good night, my people.
Thank you very much, Jerry from Bariga. We'll take 2 more calls so we can wrap up the conversation this evening. Do you know that Equatorial Guinea's president's son was arrested for selling the national airline? You heard that? I mean, that is swift justice. Sold the national aircraft, and he was. Hello, your network is bad. He's been jailed, though.
They have jailed him.
Been jailed, though. Look at meanwhile, Hadi Sirika is still working with the Nigeria Air. Hadi Sirika.
Remember that now?
Wahala today by you. Hello?
Ethiopian person was jailed.
Hello, good evening. How are you, sir?
I know, I'm Godpower calling from Badagry.
All right, Mr. Godpower, please go ahead.
I say in life there are 3 kinds of people: the optimist, the pessimist, and the realist.
Yes, well done.
And the most closest to the truth are the realist. From the body language of this government, it is obvious that they intend to rig the election. So me, I'm using this medium to appeal to EU, NATO, and all the international bodies that they should please talk to him. And if you notice what Fela sang in 1979, he said this uprising will bring out the beast in us. So I'm using, because if you take all the analysts you brought in and all the media, you will notice that the government just pretend as if they don't care. And if we check from the antecedents of the election they've done, the BUY election and the previous one, it is obvious from their body language that they intend to read. So all the solution of the observation that has been given to them, they've gone there. So I'm begging, I'm using this medium, appealing to, because if we cry from now to tomorrow, these government are not scared of Nigerians, but I think they are scared of them. But thank you.
All right, thank you very much. Thank you for calling. Mr. Lawal Kondara, what's your final take? Because we need to wrap up soon.
Yes, we're done. A child that is crying knows why he's crying. And will continue to cry until the mother gives him what he needs or she needs. The same thing with Nigerians. Whether you believe somebody is listening, you don't believe somebody is listening, there's one thing that is fundamental. That one, the government that is ruling you in democracy, they are supposed to be your servants. Always have it at the back of your mind. In democracy, government, whether to the councillor or to the president, are supposed to be, they are the servant of the people. That's what the constitution says. Second, the power belongs to the people. You are the one who gave the power to them. So you should always have that at the back of your mind. So if the government either is not paying you, you have the power to withdraw it back.
Okay.
Put it at the back of your mind.
Okay.
Nigerians should remember that. Thank you.
Thank you very much. Mr. Tony Bata, the president met with the Buhari organization, the CPC faction, who are the Buhari loyalists. You know that there have been complaints from that particular section that collaborated to form the APC, that the president has isolated them. And based on, obviously, this is a political move, okay, was led by Al Makura. So here is the thing. They met at the banquet hall. The details of the discussion has not yet been disclosed by the presidential media team, but the visit is seen as part of ongoing consultations between Tinubu and political allies of former President Muhammadu Buhari. Now, there are talks that since Muhammadu Buhari passed on, that's population, those loyalists, they need a new leader. There are considerations that it could be Atiku Abubakar that could take over that particular set of people. It could be El Rufai that could take over, because El Rufai too is a loyalist of Muhammadu Buhari. There are some persons feel that they have not yet announced whoever is actually in charge of that population, but that these political elites like Atiku and El Rufai intend to take advantage of that. A couple of persons who defect from the APC to other political parties are persons in the CPC faction, that is the Buhari loyalists. And some persons think that this is the right move of the president. He needs to secure the KKK states. Once he has it on ground, any other thing is sorted out for him. What's your take on that?
Yeah, that's a very good strategy that he's doing. But I know that he won't capture those people because El-Rufai is there. And I'm looking at El-Rufai as the potential person to take over from Buhari. It may not be Atiku, because if you watch Atiku...
you don't think that El-Rufai's antecedent is a problem?
If you watch El-Rufai and Buhari when Buhari was alive, it's like a father-son thing. And if you watch Atiku and Buhari, they have been in loggerhead in political issues. And these things are some of the things they may consider. Okay. But what Tinubu is doing and Tinubu and Co. is doing is one of those things that in politics that he is expected to do. But one thing I want to say again before we wrap up is that was the time Julius Caesar, those of us who are students of history, was at the point of worshiping him. Julius Caesar was being worshipped. But where is Julius Caesar today?
Okay.
Everything has time and season. They should know that one day everybody will go.
Finally, do you think Tinubu's policies is starting from the upper echelon? That's a target, to start from up before it gets down. And that's why it's taking a long time.
Tinubu government, they don't have any policy. They are there to capture power and capture Nigerians and enrich themselves. There's no policy that they are doing. And
you say that all the talks on the policy reformation policy,
we are seeing them now. And all the rest of them are lying. Tell me one of those things they said that came out. Is it the removal of subsidy? Which they say, what critical area of investment have they put the money they remove from subsidy? Tell me, is it in health, education, road? Tell me, agriculture.
No, to talk about the
so tell me now, all these things are proper. They are not there. They don't have any policy. There's no policy. It's just whatever they think. When the Nigerian people push, they will say one thing and do. When the refinery, I keep saying it, Nigerians have who asked them, the Port Harcourt refinery, they say the fuel is not around. Where is it?
Investigations are ongoing with
which investigation? What Coastal Road now? Look at where we are keeping it to. That one is going to die like a natural death. This government, they don't have policy. The policy they know is capture them, get money, borrow money, and publish them.
Are you being sentimental?
I'm not being sentimental. I'm feeling the heat. Nigerians are feeling all the indices. We analyze this thing. You had Mr. Imo. All the indices to show growth, to show that even your disposable income, you are the one telling me that you work. Look at your neck.
Yes, now my neck don't.
I'm telling you, I am owing money. My factory, I can't even run it. I borrowed money, I couldn't even pay. All my staff, I have sacked all of them. I'm telling you.
In this economic condition,
since we are buying 250,000, we are buying 570,000. How can you cope up? I'm owing Bank of Industry. I'm owing some people.
All right, ladies and gentlemen, we've actually come to an end of the evening rush right here on Voice of the People 90.3 FM. Some of you that couldn't take your calls, I sincerely do apologize, and your messages as well, I sincerely do apologize. We'll continue tomorrow. For some of you who may not be happy with the realistic situation in the country and the responses of a couple of people to the issues here, I don't want to say I'm sorry to you. If you're benefiting from the government of the day, kudos to you. Give us the secrets, share the insights. Let us also benefit from the largesse, because it feels like when people complain, some people think it's hate on Tinubu, or it's hate on the presidency, or that we're more of an opposition platform and not a platform that gets to generate the ambience of the government of the day. I think all those things are testimonies. If you're doing well, it reflects. If you're not doing well, it reflects. Some persons will say it's just 2 years. There's no magic to be done.
Go to
just 2.5 years.
Go to have your state and see.
Done, but this is the reality of the day. My name is Esther Wachiku, and I sincerely do appreciate you. Follow us across all social media platforms at VOP903 FM. Esther Nwaz on Instagram, Esther Wachiku on Facebook, Estiq Media on YouTube. That's ESTIQMEDIA. Kindly subscribe there. Mr. Lawa Ekundaya on Facebook and
Chima Mbata Facebook and Comrade Tony Mbata TikTok
and Great Emo on Facebook. To have yourselves an amazing evening. Bye for now.